Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Wasp mod, which is being made by user John Connor. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a wonderfully makeshift energy weapon, the Wasp. And I love this thing, as it's basically thrown together from junk parts around the Commonwealth, and that just makes sense in the Fallout post-apocalyptic universe. I really like this thing. So let's take a look at the Pip-Boy and take a gander at the standard Wasp right here, which, as you can see, is just awesome. I just love the junky, thrown together nature of this thing. It's full of wires and duct tape and circuitry, and it's wonderful. I love this design. It very much fits into this universe, to me, at the very least, and yeah, it's great looking. And as for the modifications, we do have a pretty decent number of them to really make this thing do a lot of wacky and crazy things, and some really damaging things, which is great. I in fact accidentally blew myself up just before starting the episode with one of the mods. It was powerful. But as for the standard version, it will do 67 physical damage and 10 energy, using a modified microfusion cell with a firing rate of 83, a range of 119, accuracy of 53, and a weight of 6. And like I said, you can make some pretty wacky things with this, and deadly, such as the Palladium Core version, which I do believe is the most damaging version of this gun. Just oh my, look at all of those numbers. It's just beautiful and looks pretty crazy, and that is just great. Or of course you could go with, say, a plasma grenade version with blades on the bottom for killing things through stabbery, and that too is fun. Now, as for how you get your hands on one of these lovely things, well, that's quite simple. You just need to go to any chemistry station in the world and go into craft in the Wasp category here. And you can see we have a lot of different things in here, as these are all the different modified versions of ammunition that you use with the different versions of the gun. But the gun itself right here does require an actual 44 pistol in your inventory to build. And you may have noticed that when I brought the gun up, that it did use that same sort of animation, but instead of spinning the cylinder, it was instead spinning the fusion cell. And well, if you look close, the fusion cell actually was spinning. It's great. Now, beyond the 44 pistol, you also need aluminum, circuitry, cloth, copper, fiber optics, fusion cells, glass, plastics, screws, steel, and wood, as well as, of course, rank 1 in science and rank 1 in gun nut. Now, depending on which version of the gun you use, you'll have all the different modified versions of ammo to go with it, and basically the gist of things here is each of them is going to require science and gun nut, as well as the type of ammo that it's based off of. Say a cryo cell, it will need cryo cells, but it'll also need nuclear material to modify it. And that's the same deal with all of them. So the cryo cell is cryo cell nuclear material. The cryo grenade, a wonderful spelling there, requiring cryogenic grenades and nuclear materials. Same with the gamma round, microfusion cell, microfusion core, plasma cartridge, plasma grenade, a pulse grenade, the modified nuke grenade, and then lastly we have the Palladium Core, which powers by far the most deadly version of the gun, and yeah, requiring, oh boy, aluminum, circuitry, copper, fiber optics, 2 fusion cores, glass, gold, nuclear material, silver, and steel, and requiring a bit more science and gun nut at rank 2 for both of those. But yeah, well worth it. And as for all of these modified versions, or at least I believe most, if not all of them, they all have a charge rather than being a straight up one-to-one shot. So like with the Palladium Core, one Palladium Core will be able to be used to fire multiple times. So very handy in that regard. Now let's go and take a look at the modifications we have, and jump over here to the weapons workbench and grab our gun. And the first section, which I don't quite know what to call it, I guess maybe receiver, but basically this first section changes what kind of ammunition and damage this thing does. Now by default it's the microfusion cell, but again we have the cryo cell, cryo grenade, gamma capacitor, fusion core, nuke grenade, based off of nuka grenades, of course, the palladium core, plasma cell, plasma grenade, and pulse grenade. And each of them will do the damage of whatever ammo that you use for it. Like with the pulse grenade, it'll do the fun electrical damage, but it'll also, of course, do additional damage. And you can find out how many shots you get per ammo in here. So like with the micro fusion core, you'll get 40 shots per core, the plasma grenade, 2 shots per grenade, etc. So it is handy that it does tell you the numbers there, so you've got all the information up front. Now, next is the barrel category, where sadly we only have 2 things, either the short prismatic barrel, which is standard, or a long cooled amplified barrel, which, again, I just love the hodgepodge nature. It's beautiful. Now, next after that, we have the grips, where we have either a small grip, which is standard, a bladed grip for stabbery, and the pipe grip rifle. And finally, we have the scope category, where we either have the standard iron sights, which, they're iron sights, they're not the greatest, but they function, a small telescope, and then finally a reflex sight scope, which I think this one's my favorite of the 3. I mean, there's only 3, so it's not hard to be the favorite, but I love the fact that it's a powered reflex sight. So it has the reflex sight here, and then a fusion cell on top of it powering it. And that, again, the whole makeshift nature of this gun, I very much love, as it screams to me futuristic post-apocalypse. And that is wonderful. So those are all the modifications, so let's take some shots. And first thing to just quickly talk about, which you probably already noticed when I pulled the gun out originally, it has a hum. Whenever you have the gun in your hand, it makes a noise. Now the fun part is, or well, it may be fun or annoying depending on who you are, each different version of the gun actually makes a different sound. So this is the standard one. Nice hum. And then if we go to, say, the palladium core, let's pull that one out here real quick. It kind of sounds like, I don't know, like a spaceship engine or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it's wonderful. There we go, the palladium core. And finally, the plasma grenade version. I really don't know how to describe this sound, but it works. It works. And again, some people might find this annoying, but personally, I kind of like it because, again, the makeshift nature of the gun, the sound makes me feel like I shouldn't be firing it. Like it's gonna explode in my hand at any moment. And that's a good thing, I think. I may be weird, but yeah. So let's actually take some shots with this baby. There you go, you can see it is a pretty good sound to it. Nice custom sound, not your typical laser pistol sound. And I'm firing it quite slow just to sort of show off the kick and the sound, but let's actually fire a full modified, there it is, modified microfusion cell. Haha, I got there eventually. And watch how much kick this thing has, and also how fast it fires. There we go! We were freaking looking up at the sky, and that's a lot of recoil, which actually does make this thing a little bit hard to use on occasion because, yeah, you're not going to be firing multiple shots and controlling it very well. Especially with the larger, more powerful versions of the gun. For instance, if we go to the plasma one next, because I want to finish off with the beautifully, amazingly destructive palladium core. So, the plasma grenade one, of course, fires. And it's a plasma grenade. It's just a big, fun plasma bolt that explodes, and it's great. And, yeah, again, you get 2 shots before having to reload, but if you fire them in quick succession, there we go! I fired off into the distance, very far. One shot hit there, the other shot hit over there, and that I love. I don't know why, but again, the whole makeshift nature, it's not supposed to be easy to use. And finally, the palladium core one, which, oh yes, I love this version. Now you'll notice the sound was a lot louder than the standard ones, but also has more kick. But of course only fires 3 rounds before you have to reload. And yeah, I like that. Oh, it's glorious. I love the effect of it going downwind. It's fun. and so very destructive. So let's go and test these out on our usual test subjects of Randy and Will, and I think I'll use the Palladium Core on Will and the Plasma Core on, or Plasma Grenade, rather, on Randy. So let's line up the shot. Wait for it. We really don't have to aim very well, which is good for me because it's so, well, explosive. And fire! Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's real dead. Oh, it's beautiful. Alright, well, let's switch over to the Plasma Grenade Core for Randy up there. And take him down. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be that hard with this one either. I mean, this thing still does a sizable amount of damage. Why does he keep laying down whenever we're doing these videos now? Well, goodbye, Randy. Yep, one shot did the trick. Oh, it's beautiful. Alright, but yeah, that is the Wasp mod. It is just such a fun, weird, makeshift, thrown-together weapon that I have very much been enjoying. It's just hilarious, and all the different versions of the gun make it so much better in my mind. It's very, very cool. Let's actually pick out one where I can a bit more easily look down sight and then turn for the picture. There we are. Beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, that is the Wasp mod. If you'd like to take a look at it for yourself, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this episode. I hope you all have enjoyed, and of course that you do come back for the next episode when hopefully we'll be looking at another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!